Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. If you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, of course, welcome back. You guys know the drill with that. So today I'm going to be talking about a new palette release from Hourglass. It's one of the holiday releases. It's the Hourglass Ambient Unlocked Edit palette. This is what it looks like. Very reflective. Hopefully I'm not blinding you. It is covered in my fingerprints because I've been using it a ton. I'm going to talk about what I think about the palette, give you some info on it, and you'll see me apply some of the powders. If you do, of course, want to see that, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so as I said, this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, it is a small palette. I will say I was a little bit thrown off by the size. I knew it was smaller, but I mean, it fits in my hand. So for each pan that is in the palette, I'll show you what the inside of this looks like. So that's the inside, really, really beautiful. I think the shades are like absolutely stunning, but you can see this pan size. It's about 0.04 ounces per pan. And just in reference, this is the same size as kind of like the mini sizes that you get. Now there is a mirror down here as well that I'm covering. Just for size reference, I do have a full size blush. This one's in Luminous Flush, so that's the difference in the pan size. So you can see there is quite a bit of difference as far as the pan size goes. Now, typically for one of these mini sizes, if you just get one of them, they usually retail for about 32 Canadian dollars, a little bit less in American dollars. This full palette was 95 Canadian, and I think it's about $80 US. So you do save some money because the minis are quite expensive. So this is still a value if you were thinking about buying some of those minis. If you don't think you'll use all these powders, it may not be as worth it for you. You may be better off just buying a couple of the ones that you want. But I do think overall this is a good value. Most of the shades in here actually work for me, and I have more of a light skin tone. So just to give you a reference, I'm going to tell you how I use each of the powders, and you'll see also in the try-on clip how I used each of them. I did use the entire palette actually on my face today for my highlight, my bronzer, my blush. Everything is actually from this palette because I really wanted to show you guys how it applied to the skin. So I'm going to get into talking about some of the powders. So we're going to start, and I'll insert the try-on clip as I do this. So we're going to start with the bronzers because that's actually where I started in my makeup routine. So I actually dipped into, this is the actual bronzer, but I also dipped into this shade. Now if you have a deeper skin tone, this won't work, but I have a lighter skin tone, so I use both of these shades for bronzing, and I find it works really well. It is more of a warm bronzer, so I like to go in before. I use my Kevyn Aucoin contour book, or you can use whatever you want, but I go in and contour lightly with a cooler shade, and then I go in with this palette and use the bronzing shade. So this is more of a warm bronzer. Now the formula on this I think is pretty similar to the Ambient like lighting powders. I do think this one over here isn't as glowy as that powder. This is just more of a setting powder with a bit of sheen. But these bronzers I think have similar formulas. Of course, they're a little bit different. They don't have like the ribbiting in them. These are all new shades. That's another reason I chose to get this palette, because I wanted to try these shades out and I like the look of the palette. But yeah, for bronzer, you can see in my try-on clip that I use these two. I then went in with the blush. And I used a mix of the blush here and the blush over here. So this is kind of more of a, this has more of like a shimmer and glow to it, and it's kind of like a corally color. And then this one is more of a plum shade, not with the shimmer like this one has. So I combined these two in the try-on clip and put both of those on for you. I love these. I think they're beautiful. I have been using them a ton. I then went in, after I finished up all of my makeup, I wanted to just like blend everything in, and I used this powder down here on the high points of my face, and then I just pushed the rest into my skin, which you can also see there. I think the shade is really pretty, and it does help kind of diffuse other product on your face. Now, the last shade that I went in with, of course, was the strobing powder. This is the strobing formula. So this is more of an intense highlight. It will kind of show off texture if you do have it, so do keep that in mind. But it applied really beautifully. It has a beautiful glow to it, and I have been really liking this as well. I also actually use this on my brow bone and in my inner corner today as well. Alright, so that is the full palette used. So I wanted to pop back on and just kind of give you my thoughts on it. So as I said, I do think it is a pricier palette, but if you are going to splurge and you want to try multiple powders from Hourglass, I think this is really cool. It is a limited edition palette. Hourglass, of course, is cruelty-free. So if you are looking for a cruelty-free brand, they are. Now, they are on the luxury end, so you are paying higher prices. But I do think if you have been wanting to try a holiday palette, this is a really nice one. If you are super fair, I don't know how much use you would get out of this because you may not use a lot of these shades, but you could be like me and kind of mix those bronzers because I do have a lighter skin tone and I was able to make this work, and I think the blushes would work on a fair to light skin tone. So I do think you could get some use out of this. Overall, I do like it. Like I said, it is smaller, obviously, in the pan sizes. So if you're expecting something the same as those larger pan sizes, it's not going to be that big. It is literally the size of your hand, but it is pretty. I love the packaging. I love Hourglass packaging. I like Hourglass as a brand, so if you just want to support them, I could see you purchasing this. It is still available on the Sephora website currently, or on the app at least in Canada, so you can still purchase this. But I do know it is a limited edition, so if you want to pick it up, you probably should pick it up. I think they are releasing another holiday palette, and it's just like the normal ambient lighting palette. If you are more interested in those powders, then of course you can go and grab those. But if you wanted to try the new shades, I think this is the one to actually go with. Overall, I do really like the palette. Do I think it's the best value? No, but if you are looking to try multiple powders, then yes. So it's really up to you if you want to go ahead and purchase it, and if you think it's going to work on your skin tone, if you think those colors are going to work for you. But overall, I really enjoyed the palette. I think the quality of the powders are good. They last well throughout the day. I haven't had any problems as far as like fading or anything like that. I actually love the highlighter in here. I'm thinking about purchasing a full size because I like it that much, but I probably won't because this will last me a while. But yeah, guys, that is my thoughts on the palette. I think I gave you all the information really that you need on it. Of course, if you have any questions, you can throw those down in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on my future videos. Hit the subscribe button as well, the red button down at the bottom. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.